Vegeta was the prince of all Saiyans. He was a proud warrior. He was a conqueror of worlds. Committing unspeakable atrocities, he ravaged and destroyed countless planets. Despite calming down in his later years and settling on a planet called Earth, he still had many, many sins tied to his soul. Far too many sins to count. Just when Vegeta was starting to change, he did the unthinkable. He surrendered himself to the evil wizard Babidi. As a Majin warrior, this Prince of Darkness slaughtered many more innocent people and endangered the lives of everyone in the universe. He eventually regained his sanity and attempted to atone for his mistakes by fighting the monster he had helped resurrect, Majin Buu. Vegeta sacrificed himself in one final selfless act in order to protect his family and friends. Despite this, his sins remained. The echoes of the civilizations he ended cried out in anger. His victims screamed for his blood. Vegeta always knew where he would go when he died. No acts of redemption could absolve his soul of the horrific acts he committed, and he was right. There was only one place left for him to go. Vegeta was getting sent straight to hell. Into the Inferno! What if Vegeta met his father in hell? My life fell like dew, disappears like dew. All of this world is dream after dream.
Vegeta felt as if he was floating. He couldn't feel the dirt beneath his feet, or the air in the sky. He couldn't feel anything. His memory was a little foggy, but he could have sworn that he was doing something important. It had something to do with a woman, a child, and a spiky-haired man. A man with an incredibly annoying face. Vegeta's eyes bolted wide open. Whatever it was he was doing, it was something incredibly urgent. He looked around to get a bearing of his surroundings, but he was shocked at what he saw. He was standing on top of an arena. Around him were empty, destroyed stands with no signs of life. Vegeta started to sweat. Where was he? He didn't know why, but being here made him feel very uncomfortable. Suddenly, the prince heard the sound of footsteps.
Who's there? Calm down. Put your hand away. It's not like you could do anything to me anyway. Pfft, as if I'd listen to someone as suspicious as you. I'll ask again, who the hell are you? I'm no one important. Just like you.
Vegeta demanded to know where he was. The mysterious man stated that they were standing on what used to be a tournament arena. Many people would come here to watch martial artists fight each other for entertainment. It was a place filled with laughter, suspense, and excitement. But all of that changed when a pitiful man succumbed to his own weakness and, in a vicious act, killed many of these spectators without mercy. Men, women, children, it didn't matter. They all died in the end because of one man's selfish choice. Vegeta looked around as a cold sweat ran through his body. Why was he feeling so anxious? He didn't know. If only his memories weren't so hazy. Before Vegeta could ask the cloaked figure any more questions, a loud screech filled the air. Vegeta turned to see several green creatures alongside a large, bald man wearing armor.
Haha, there you are! After all this time, you're finally here. It took you long enough. Now I can finally have my revenge.
Do I know you?
What? How dare you disrespect me again? I'll tear you apart!
The brute ordered the Cybermen to launch themselves at the prince. Vegeta was able to easily dodge the various slashes and punches sent his way. Eventually, each of them latched onto the prince and self-destructed. Nappa laughed loudly. Before he looked in shock, Vegeta was completely unharmed. He wiped the dust off his uniform and asked Nappa if that was supposed to hurt. The large Saiyan scowled. Vegeta seemed to recognize him, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. The cloaked man, as if reading his mind, said that his name was Nappa and that he was once a Saiyan warrior. A Saiyan? That noun seemed to ring through his mind. Nappa grunted, saying that he was loyal to him for decades and practically raised him. Yet, despite all that, he threw him away and killed him without a second thought. These words managed to stop Vegeta in his tracks. He tried to defend himself, explaining that he would never do something like that, but Nappa simply grins.
Oh, what a joke. No matter how hard you think you can change, I know you'll always be a selfish monster who can never be trusted. No, you betrayed me, just like you betrayed the people who were in those stands.
Stop it!
Just like you betrayed your earthling tramp and that half-breed mutt! Shut up!
Vegeta roared as his ki erupted into a massive explosion. The force of the blast was so powerful it consumed Nappa and the Cyberman, as well as the ruins of the tournament. When the dust settled, there was nothing left, just scorched earth. But was this Earth? Vegeta realized that the sky was suddenly green, and the nearby grass was now blue. He looked around, spotting strange alien homes and rock formations. However, he also noticed that some of these homes were badly damaged. Several of them were burning, while others had their tops blown off. Vegeta demanded to know where he was, as the cloaked figure asked him if he remembers this place, because this is planet Namek. At least, it was. It was a place filled with a tranquil race of aliens, who lived in peace, until they were attacked by Frieza and his forces. Frieza? That name made Vegeta's blood boil, but he didn't quite know why. The cloaked man went on to explain that Frieza and his men ravaged the world in search of the mythical Dragonballs, magical orbs that could grant any wish. Frieza wasn't the only one searching for them, however. There was another, pitiful, arrogant man with a wounded pride that sought the orbs in order to obtain eternal life. This man had come to this planet, just like the tyrant and his army. He went around, searching for nearby villages. He came here, to this particular village, where he single-handedly massacred everyone in order to get what he wanted. There were many people who stood in his way: Namekians, Frieza's lieutenants, the Ginyu Force. None of them survived. Vegeta began to breathe rapidly. His heart was pacing fast. He knew this place. He even remembered the sound of screaming, the smells of Namekians burning, the cries of people begging for their lives. How could he remember this?
It's because you were the one who killed us, Vegeta.
Vegeta turned around and saw a group of Namekians standing together. There were elders, warriors, children. Elder Tsuno looked at Vegeta as his skin turned cold.
When you first came here and asked for the Dragon Balls, I sensed a great evil within your soul. I told you this. I told you you were unworthy of the Dragon Ball, that you best escape. Do you remember what you told me next?
No, I don't.
You told us to die.
You also cut my head off, you jerk!
Vegeta turned around once more to see Goldo standing angrily alongside the rest of the Ginyu Force, Dodoria, Zarbon, and even Qui. Vegeta immediately recognized all of them, suddenly thinking to himself how the hell he knew these people. Qui chuckled as he proclaimed that he was going to take his time getting his sweet revenge, as Dodoria snarled at him to get in line. Rikum cracked his knuckles as Zarbon bulked up into his monstrous state. The Frieza Force and the Namekians slowly surrounded Vegeta as he yelled at them to stay back. Suddenly, all of them launched forward to assault the prince. Vegeta did his best to defend himself against the relentless onslaught. He was far stronger than them, but they had an advantage in numbers, and he was disoriented. His head continued to spin as flashes of memories flooded his mind. He saw an enraged Zarbon swing a punch that Vegeta attempted to dodge, but a flashback of him murdering Zarbon burst into his mind, causing him to get hit square in the jaw. Qui roundhouse kicks Vegeta in the stomach as he recalls throwing him into the air and blowing him into pieces. He gets kneed in the chin by Rikum, with a flashback of himself slamming his own knee onto the unconscious Rikum's neck, crushing it. The villains sneer and belittle Vegeta, calling him weak, scared little monkey, as the Namekians scream out for the revenge. The two sides dogpile on Vegeta, and for a moment, nothing stirs, not even the wind. Vegeta yells out as he bursts his ki into a massive golden aura. The Frieza Force and the Namekians are blasted away, with Vegeta staring down at them. The soldiers and the Namekians are left in shock, witnessing the might of the Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan. Vegeta knew what this was, but how did he know how to transform into it? While most of them continued shaking in fear, Vegeta asked them where the bravado went. Elder Tsuno stands back up.
I know what this is, just as it's written in the Namekian Book of Legends. This is the form of a rageful beast, the destroyer of worlds. This is the legendary Super Saiyan.
Shut your trap, that's not who I am!
Of course it is. This has always been you, and just like your predecessor from 1,000 years ago, you'll one day be consumed by your own power and rage. You will doom us all.
Enough! I'm sick and tired of your nonsense!
Vegeta's anger reached its apex, his ki overflowing beyond breaking point. Possessed by anger, Vegeta's eyes white while letting out a mighty roar. Its sound deafens the nearby screams as Vegeta erupts once more. The massive explosion continues to expand, engulfing not only the Namekians and the Frieza Force, but the entire of the planet as well. Planet Namek succumbs to the fury of the Super Saiyan as it is completely and utterly vaporized. Vegeta collapses to the ground, sweating and gasping for air. He just wanted to scare them a little. He didn't mean to lose control like that. But the cloaked figure appeared in front of the prince, saying that losing control is something Vegeta himself should be quite used to. After all, he adds, destroying planets should be a rather trivial matter to the powerful Saiyan elite. It's the duty of a royal Saiyan to crush every weakling that stands in his way and take what he wants. Vegeta looks up. Before he can utter a word, the cloaked man is nowhere to be found. He looks around again to find himself on another planet. This one had purple skies and rocky terrain. He was in another village filled with huts, while in the distance, he spotted an enormous castle. Vegeta's stomach dropped. Something deep within him knew exactly what place this was, but the name just eluded him. He was getting increasingly frustrated at his seemingly fractured mind. Whatever this place was, it felt so familiar yet so foreign to him. Vegeta walked through the buildings, past butcher shops and landing pads, instinctively pushing up his nose. Pah! How could he, the Prince of all Saiyans, be walking through these low-class scums? Vegeta suddenly realized that he was able to recall something. Maybe if he looks around, he might find something to jog his memory. However, after a bit of searching, he can't find anything that could restore his thoughts. Not only that, he couldn't find the cloaked man. In fact, the only thing that drew his attention was a small incubator with a child inside. That hair looked familiar, but he didn't have time to waste. This area was abandoned besides that child. He looked towards the castle in the distance. That place, it was calling to him. He doesn't know why, but he knows his answers are somewhere in there. Vegeta flies towards the castle as he approaches the massive entrance. His heart beats faster and faster as he slowly opens up enormous doors. Filled with determination, he advances towards the Great Hall. Just being there gave him chills. He looked towards the center room. Beyond the staircase was a large, intricate hallway. He knew these halls as the ones he walked past all the time long ago. He didn't know how he knew this place, but could feel it in his bones. Past this hall were the answers he was looking for. Vegeta gulped as he entered the throne room. It was like walking into a painting. Enormous, beautiful, stained glass windows overlooked the room, illuminating it with radiant colors. Two massive lines of Saiyan soldiers stood across from each other, unwavering in their position. Between them was a long red carpet that led directly to the imposing throne. Vegeta grinned as he started to walk towards the throne. He walked and walked, but the throne was so far away. How long was this room? He started to sprint, then run. He even flew at his maximum speed towards the throne, but despite all his efforts, however, the throne continued to be out of reach. Vegeta falls to the floor, panting and winded. And no matter what he did, or how hard he tried, he just couldn't reach the damn throne. He slammed his fist onto the carpet beneath him, with a voice echoing through the chamber.
Ugh, you really are a disappointment after all.
Vegeta looked up to see the cloaked man from earlier sitting on the throne. The prince stood back up, looking absolutely livid.
That's it! I've had enough of these games! I demand some answers. Where are we? Who are you? Who am I? Why can't I remember anything?
You know exactly who you are, you just don't want to admit it. You are Vegeta, the prince of the mighty Saiyan race. You're a warrior, a conqueror, a failure, just like me. I should know, because you are my son.
The man took off his cloak, with Vegeta staring dumbfounded. That hair, the beard, the sneer, there was no doubt about it. This man, who had been following Vegeta through his journey, was his father, King Vegeta. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If everything goes as planned, this will be up on Friday, and you don't have to wait long for part 2, because it will be up tomorrow, Saturday the 28th at 1 PM EST. This was a super fun video to make, but I cannot take the full credit for this one. This was largely written by our good friend, Professor Chimp. We were gonna make it a series, just like What If Goku Met Bardock in Hell, but we decided against it. because this sort of character analysis of Vegeta through this story seemed a little more appropriate, and seeing what Vegeta was up to in Hell while everybody else was fighting Majin Buu seemed like a pretty cool concept. So be sure to follow Professor Chimp on Twitter and subscribe to his channel, which I will leave in the description below. Also, another piece of the puzzle was of course Rajmain, the editor. He put a lot of himself into this video, some stuff we didn't even think about. All the transitions with the screen crackles and the monstrous versions of the Saiyans, stuff like that, he put a lot of work into this video and it really showed. Finally, of course, I gotta give a shout out to my good friend Josh from Dragonball University. They recently reached 10,000 subscribers a couple of months ago, so be sure to check them out and subscribe to him. He is my most prominent voice actor in this channel, and he's incredible. He voiced literally every character in this, as well as the opening narrator. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as well as hitting the bell button so you never miss out on more content. I gotta give a huge shout out and thank you to the Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Legend members of the channel: Neil Whitcomb, Phil J. Akir, Eric Dragon, Sacred Saiyan, Pizza Hut Kitman, Orlando Castellano, Hannah Rowan, Sith Lord, Sir Justice, Midnight Combatant, The Real Samuel Randall, and Zachary Croy. Without you guys, this channel would not stay afloat. I'm still trying to figure out what membership perks would be good. A lot of people have told me to maybe do a voice call on Discord every first Saturday of the month or something like that for the top members, where we can discuss what ifs or live or whatever the hell else. So I may do that. Next week we're gonna have the Majin Buu saga for What If Bardock's squad survived. It is one of the last arcs in that series and it's a very long one, so it will be divided in 2 parts. I hope you guys enjoy it and look forward to it. Anyways, be sure to follow me on Twitter at ShareYourEnergy. That is the best way to contact me if you want to suggest any what ifs or just chat. Anyways guys, until we meet again. See ya!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SmugStick, unless you want to be destroyed.
Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.